Okay, so I am going to share some news about what people think about the new Pig 64 game. It's been a mixed bag, so let's begin.
Hey 99, what's going on?
Oh, I'm just recording a video about Pig 64.
Ooh, can I join in? Seems like you could use a break.
Okay, I guess you could.
Okay, great. Hold up. Okie doke, now that that's out of the way. Hello everyone, my name is Noah, also known as the Cinemenace. I do the streams on this channel and I'm one of 99's good friends. I've recently received this opportunity to review the new Pig 64 game on this channel, so I would like to do that now. This video will be an objective critique on Pig 64, notifying the good and the not so good elements of the game and explaining ways to make it better for the next part. Before I get into this, I would like to say that art is subjective and feel free to disagree with me. However, I will not be responding to your hateful comments against me. Respect other people's opinions, please, and thank you. Enough preamble, let's get going. I would first like to emphasize the art style and design they were going for. As for an official Piggy game, it was a bold risk going with a 64-bit style game, as Piggy games are known for their immense detail and relatively simple gameplay. However, I think they did it very well, all things considered. The 64-bit style makes for really interesting choices, as design choices are limited for the team. However, there's some good attention to detail within all the maps, and it makes it feel like you're playing a 64-bit Piggy game. As a fan of the indie horror title Shipwreck 64, the design here is about on par with what I'd expect from a game similar to the likes of that game. So congrats to the team for making their game as accurate as possible with the art style. Next, I would like to talk about the gameplay and the mechanics they used. Now, I think they definitely succeeded in some parts, however in other parts they fall a bit short. First up, I personally like the ability to jump and dash, and they did those mechanics quite well. At first, it can be rough to traverse, but it mostly made for a fun way to travel. The objects around the map were fun to find, and collecting piggy coins was fun. I liked how both of these tasks were fun and not too hard. Games make the mistake of hiding their objects in difficult locations, but this simply wasn't the case. Even some of the secret things weren't too hidden, but they weren't too easily noticeable. I like that. But my main issue stems with the tower code. I'm sorry, but I thought the tower code was just not the best. Let's compare it with the toad from the hidden ending. The code to get in the door was practically right in front of us, and we just needed a final step to convert the numbers into letters into symbols. The tower code, however, gave us no leads on where to find it. There was no indication in the first place that we needed to travel back to Piggy, and no indication that we needed to go to Carnival on Trader Mode to find the code. This hunt for the code was slightly improper in my opinion, and didn't sit well with me after it was done. But I thought the secret codes for the other challenges were pretty good. One more thing about the gameplay. I liked buying the objects, and they're mostly all fun to use, especially the boombox, and the claw machine puzzle was very cool. So mostly great work on the gameplay. On to the next. Okay, so the story of this game is... wait, what was it again? I don't think there was much. Let's get into my biggest complaint with this game. Its lack of story. Now, I completely understand that this was meant to be a demo game and a teaser for a bigger story, but I just feel like there was nothing compelling or interesting in the game that made me want to continue. Let me explain. So, the first few teasers were really fun to watch and got me invested in a few of the characters because they seemed cool and likable, and I wanted to see where their character arcs would be going. But in Pig 64, there really weren't any characters I liked. All the major characters are super flat and uninteresting. They don't have a single element of personality, and it puts me out of the story completely, and it kinda makes me wonder, what's the point of doing all this? There really wasn't any point in doing all this, as I really wasn't sure what I was doing. This game lacks cohesion as the characters don't have depth and don't provide us with no goal or motive. So why should I continue? The only reason I did continue is because I was hoping at the end it would give us some information about the characters in the teasers. And, well, because I wanted to complete it first. So that's why I don't think the story here is good. However, I'm willing to let it slide because this is a demo of what's to come. Let's just move on before I lose my mind. Finally, I wanted to talk about two more elements of Pig 64 that I wanted to combine into one section, because there is not much to talk about both. One of these elements are executed very well, and one of them is not executed well. I would like to first talk about the music. The music of Pig 64 is composed by the GOAT Caillou Dex, who has composed both Crystallize and Duality, the skin themes for Glenn and Duokara, and they both slap, as you all know. And all of the music composed for this game really fit the vibe of a 64-bit game with a simple and upbeat soundtrack. I absolutely loved all the tracks, and my favorite one is Let the Tears Flow, but honestly, they're all great. Definitely showed Caillou Dex some love because this is easily the most underappreciated element of the game. However, we now come to the element that I was most disappointed with. It's horror. Now, Piggy isn't really the best horror game. I mean, I wouldn't play it if I was looking for a good scare. However, it has recently been taking a more horror-focused direction that I was interested in. But Pig 64 is really missing some of that. I was expecting some elements of the glitchy and air world to focus mainly on scary and dark elements, maybe adding some actual danger. But unfortunately, I found myself underwhelmed. The only real horror part was when the screen turned red and distorted at the end of the game. I just think that this game was missing something that most Piggy games usually have that make them great, and that is tension. Every Piggy map has tension, and even if you aren't immediately being chased by someone, there is still the threat of danger, and the fact that you could die at any given moment is what makes Piggy somewhat scary. However, there was no tension in Pig 64, which kind of takes me out of the game. In conclusion, Pig 64 is good. I liked it, and I enjoyed playing it. It was really fun connecting with the viewers of the channel and seeing the community unite to solve something. It reminded me of the good old days and such. Before I go and let MiniToonFan99 back into the picture, I have a few suggestions for the developers of Pig 64 as they release Part 2. Keep the style of Pig 64 and have similar soundtracks in the game. Improve the puzzles slightly and make them more interesting with engagements and unique ideas. DM me if you need those ideas. Make the characters of Pig 64 have a bit more personality and character, and make the NPCs engaging in their dialogue and gameplay interactions. And finally, add some tension, danger, or stakes to the puzzles to increase the horror elements of the game. Anyways, I think I've done enough yapping about this game. Comment down below if you want me to do this kind of video again. I would love to hear your thoughts about the game and the video. Thank you so much for watching and have a nice day. Noah signing off.